Zenless Zone Zero's endgame mode Deadly Assault was widely praised when it released, but now it seems many players are only talking about it negatively. Why is that? Howdy, I'm Yojimbo Blade, and I'm here to give a brief explanation and history of Deadly Assault to discuss why many players are frustrated with the mode they once adored, my overall thoughts on the matter, and why I find Deadly Assault enjoyable, but maybe not for the reasons you think. Quick overview just to catch everyone up to speed. Deadly Assault is a mode where the player chooses 3 teams of 3 agents to fight 3 bosses using one of 3 selectable buffs, on top of boss-specific buffs, to get the highest possible score within 3 minutes and to get 3 stars. Lots of 3s. Each fight also has a special interaction that can give you up to 5,000 performance points. Scores at 6,000 points give 1 star, 14,000 gives 2 stars, and anything beyond 20,000 gives 3 stars, or an S rank. You can get up to 65,000 points against a boss, but the in-game rewards stop at 20k for each. And that's because players earn rewards for each star they get, but polychrome awards stop after 6 stars, and it's a very small amount anyway. And this is great. This game mode is great for players who want to challenge themselves and get high scores, but also very approachable for relaxed and comfortable players. If this mode is not something you enjoy playing, you aren't missing much by just skipping it or playing it once in a while. The first thing to understand is that Zenless Zone Zero is a live service game monetized by gambling to obtain and empower agents. That should be very obvious to anyone who plays the game. So it is no surprise that a game like that will provide challenges and encourage players to overcome them, while also selling super solutions to it. And that's okay, whales and dolphins should feel rewarded for their purchases. For me, that in itself is a non-issue. My issue is how this situation has affected other players. So quick history lesson, when Deadly Assault launched in version 1.4, it launched alongside the infamous Hoshimi Miyabi. I won't talk about her in detail, but very briefly, Miyabi dominated every enemy in the game, especially in Deadly Assault. And that's no surprise when almost every cycle had a boss tailor-made for Miyabi's strengths. Some obvious culprits include Notorious Dead End Butcher and Sacrifice Bringer. Butcher is weak to ice and ether and requires you to use those elements to stop him from charging up. Since no ether anomaly agents existed until Vivian, you either had to scrounge together a team centered around Anomaly Nicole or Sokaku, or simply use Miyabi to completely ignore the fight. And I say ignore intentionally, because Miyabi interrupts Butcher so frequently that he does not have a chance to do anything. As for Bringer, he is only weak to ice, and will summon his God Arm, which is only breakable in the time you have with either a Disorder or a super powerful move. Again, Miyabi trivializes this interaction. When Hugo released, some players could not beat the arm because Hugo, the ice attacker, could not deal enough damage to it. Instead, some resorted to using Anomaly Mastery on Lycon and Lighter to get a Disorder. That's how painful Bringer is to fight without Miyabi. I really enjoy the Bringer fight, but when he summons his God Arm, it's a mechanic designed to shill for Miyabi. It is quite literally a paywall. To make a short story longer, Deadly Assault was already a mode designed to encourage endgame players to spend money. At present, this mode is blatant FOMO marketing, centered around enticing players with the fear of missing out on the fun of getting high scores. For my next examples, I will be referencing the Deadly Assault cycle available as of October 31st, 2025. I will not explain the details about these bosses, but just know that the Defiler is designed specifically for attackers, Miasmic Fiend for anomalies, and Wandering Hunter for Rupture. It is relatively simple to obtain all 5,000 performance points against them, so at the very least, it is very accessible to get 1 star. And this is a change from before, because some performance points had really specific and difficult requirements. What you are watching now is an example of these new performance points in action. I am using the weakest possible team in the game, regular A-rank Ambi, Pan, who can't support the team without his additional, and Ben, who also can't support the team without his additional, against the Defiler, and I am still able to, quote, clear the end game. I keep hearing people say that Ambi got buffed, but I just don't see it. It's a terrible team, but 50 polychromes is 50 polychromes. And this is all fine, I don't have any issues with this. At the very least, a halfway decently built team should be able to get a B rank. Likely you can get an A rank. However, for the 3 selectable buffs, one of them will have a condition locked behind Ether Veil, which only Lucia and Yitari can activate. What a coincidence! Those are the new agents they are currently selling. Another buff is slightly more lenient for attackers, but is clearly designed to favor Soldier Zero Ambi or Seed with Orphe. Combining all of this together, many players have voiced their frustrations. They could no longer get the scores they were getting with the teams they had been using, and many players pointed to HP inflation as the culprit, because it had very obviously increased since the mode launched. However, I am here to argue that HP inflation is not, and never was, the primary culprit. The real reason some players are getting lower scores is not because of HP inflation. It's not just because of skill issues, it's not just because of agent builds. Those are all contributing symptoms, but despite what people say, none of them are the main problem. The primary issue with Deadly Assault, for why players are getting lower scores, is what I said at the very beginning. Zenless is a live service game monetized by gambling to obtain and empower agents, and the end game is balanced around this. If you are not getting the scores that you want, it's because you are not spending enough money. Wow, what a surprise. And I despise this. The high scores are reserved for the players who spend the most money or the right money at the right time. Hi, Lucia. Not for those who spend the time and effort perfecting their skills. Now, I want to be very clear. This is by no means an attack against any players who have financially invested into the game. If that is how you enjoy playing the game and you are financially secure, go for it. I want you to enjoy playing the game as you like and sharing your experiences with the community. Quick side note, I don't know where to put this in the script, but it's kind of funny. The Defiler super resists ice and cannot stay frozen. Miasmic Fiend, the anomaly boss, is neutral to ice but cannot stay frozen, and Wandering Hunter is weak to ice but cannot stay frozen, and also has much higher anomaly requirements than every other boss. On top of the hidden 10% anomaly buildup nerf in Deadly Assault, this is very obviously the devs' way of saying, please stop using Miyabi and spend money on other agents. What you have been watching is my relatively invested Aftershock team against the Defiler, and you should be able to tell that the score is so much better than the previous one. Some of you might think I played better or had more fun, but the truth is that this was incredibly unengaging because I picked the correct agents with their best buffs against their best boss. The truth is that I had a more enjoyable time playing the Ambi, Pan, Ben team because I actually had to challenge myself to get a passable score. I have tried to stay calm up until now, but this next section is going to be a lot more impassioned. I play Zenless because I find it to be one of the most enjoyable and engaging games to play. At the same time, I despise every single FOMO aspect of this game. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Do you realize how discouraging it is to see messages, comments, or forums on social media from players talking about how they're afraid to get agents that they really enjoy? It could be for any reason. They really enjoy the design, they enjoy their story, they enjoy their personality, their gameplay, whatever. They are afraid because that agent might not be meta. It is so hard not seeing a part of the community talking about meta this, meta that. Who should I pull for to beat the meta? Is this agent meta? How long will they stay meta relevant? Here's the answer to all of those questions. Only pull for new agents and don't bother getting attached to them because they won't be meta after 3 to 6 months. You want to get higher scores with Yixuan? Pull Lucia. Why? Because you like her? No, you fool. It's because she's the only one who can activate a specific Ether Veil part of a Deadly Assault buff. And guess what? 6 months later, they will introduce a new Rupture support called, I don't know, Nucia. Nucia will be the only one who can activate the totally unique and original Ether Shroud buff. That activates the Ether Shroud part of a Deadly Assault buff. I don't despise the discussion about the meta. It's a super fun discussion to have in a ton of games. But in Zenless, it only seems to serve the purpose of putting FOMO on a pedestal, a monolith that overshadows every aspect of this game. And I'm sick of it. So if you want to have the real long-term investment advice, here's the strategy. Pull for agents you enjoy using and actually enjoy your time playing the game. If you don't enjoy playing the game, why are you playing? Why? Stop playing. Go play something you actually enjoy. Yes, I am gatekeeping. Stop wasting your time doing something you despise doing. Stop being a coward. Stop letting the MiHoYo live service gambling model and all the systems attached to that dictate your ability to enjoy the game. Give in to the real FOMO. Fun only, meta omitted. And to show my conviction behind that, I am intentionally not getting 9 stars for the current Deadly Assault. But that's suboptimal. Doesn't matter. I enjoyed playing the teams I used and the time I spent. That's what matters. I am the one in control over my mindset for how I enjoy my time, not the game. The game can keep its stupid rewards and badge numbers. Now with that out of the way, some of you might be surprised, because I said that I enjoyed Deadly Assault. How can I enjoy a mode I've spent so long berating? Because fundamentally, Deadly Assault challenges you to test your skills, and I really enjoy that. And to prove that, I will leave you with one final showcase. I am not a great player, but I have more patience than most. So what I'm about to show you took 3.5 hours. The first 2.5 were to get the score I was looking for, and then I realized I wasn't recording any of it, so I spent another hour redoing it. And I ask that you focus only on the gameplay and skill execution. I am an okay Miyabi player, using a terrible Miyabi team against a terrible boss for Miyabi with a worthless buff. And I want you to see what I see. I want you to see how exhilarating this game can be when you put your skills to the test, not your wallet. And I would love for you to share your experiences about how you pushed yourself to overcome the personal challenges that you have set. Before I sign off, I want to thank you for watching this far. This video is sponsored by viewers like you, and I greatly appreciate all the people who spent their time watching this. If you want to support this channel and content like this, just leave a comment or a like. That's enough. If you want others to see this, share it with them. Subscribe if you feel like it. And like I said, these videos are directly sponsored by viewers like you, not some big corpos. I have channel memberships for people who would like to become a sponsor of this channel. I greatly appreciate your generosity and ask that you only do so if you are financially stable. My name is Yojimbo Blade, and I leave you with this gameplay that I hope encourages and inspires you. God bless you, and I hope to see you again soon.
It's authorized personnel only!
I swear on my blade.
You should have worn a hard hat!
Shadowless blade. Hey! This party is just getting started.
The killer is unstoppable!
Victory, the only option. Yeah. Unstoppable. Ready for a fiery feast?
Move along.
No forgiveness.
It's authorized personnel only!
I swear on my blade.